Oh, hello there. Yes, well, hurrah for the weekend. Yes. Not quite as delicious as I was hoping it to be, but the news is looking good. For me, anyway. Probably not for you, because after all, you live here. Yes, anyway, which brings us neatly on to the Daily Telegraph and the elites and all the ways that they're making things very, very bad, apparently. Yes, David Frost, Lord Frost to you, wrote comment piece yesterday. This is it. Britain has one last chance to steer off this pothole road to perma decline. Oh no, Labour promised change that but will deliver more of the same. The next Tory leader must offer an alternative. Yes, you see, that's the basic problem, isn't it? Because we voted to get rid of the Tories, not for anyone else, but we voted to get rid of them, and we've got a right-wing Labour government who everyone's going to hate now. If not indeed last week, and probably a bit before that as well. Yes, because why? Because they're doing exactly the same thing that doesn't work, which is something that Lord Frost magically is going to tiptoe around and pretend otherwise. Yes, Lord Frost, you may recall that he was the man who was good buddy to that second most awful recent Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Yes, wasn't he? Good buddies with him, and he famously walked out of negotiations that he himself was leading because he didn't want to really be associated with something that patently wasn't going to work. Yes, I'm talking about Northern Ireland, obviously. Anyway, with that pedigree, of course, he will know all about the dynamic things that need to be done. So, of course, what are the dynamic things that need to be done? Well, according to his piece, linked down below, inevitably, pretty much nothing. Oddly enough, a bit like the Labour Party, yes. See, what we need, is tax cuts for the rich, and we need to liberate the British economy, which is tax cuts for the rich, and we need to cut down the bloated British state, which is tax cuts for the rich, okay? And we'll probably throw in a bit of incipient racism and transphobia as well, because that never hurts, does it? No. Kemi Badenoch speciality, yes. Vote for me, and vote for me is a vote against that major problem around potholes, trans people. Or is it the Eritreans digging them up at night? I'm losing count of exactly who we're to blame for potholes. It couldn't be anything to do with, 15 odd years of radical austerity, which has left councils 75% of their budget down. It can't be that. It can't be that we've ended up with wealth extraction at such an enormous rate through our gloriously privatised utilities like Thames Water. Yes, that was a winner, wasn't it? Still is, isn't it? Yes. Radical change. Why not have radical change? Why didn't Lord Frost, having seen all this stuff coming, suggest radical change in government? Well, the answer is because he doesn't want radical change. None of them want radical change because it's worked very, very nicely to extract wealth from you, the British public, and just walk away from it and blame some other people, like the Labour Party now. Yeah. Because, after all, they have been in power for well over 2 months, and I've still got potholes. Oh, I don't know about you, yeah. Anyway, the charlatans, of course, are at work, as inevitably they will be. Having spent 45 odd years persuading us that what they did for the last 14 years was the only way to go, they are now telling us that the only way we need to go as a bold, new, dynamic look for the future is exactly the same. No. You see, oddly, I'm often told on here by people that I don't understand economics, but the problem is I really do understand economics because I can really see that capitalism doesn't work, and I can expressly see that neoliberal Tufton Street style, Liz Truss style capitalism especially doesn't work. And, of course, it doesn't really matter if it does or not, because they will still be rich and you will still be poor, which is the whole point, isn't it? I mean, you can get the occasional kind of voice out there, don't you? Like the coast guy, oh, isn't it dreadful with all the rich people? Sorry, that's a bad Scottish accent, but there again, he's a bad commentator because magically the one thing he can't do is actually call out the fact that he's involved in a neoliberal propaganda channel for a whole bunch of extremely rich people. Yes. But of course he can't say that. I mean, his old muckers, your Lawrence Foxes and your Calvin Robinsons and the rest of them can actually slag off GB News, but they don't go any further than that, do they? Oh, no. A bit like Russell Brand, yeah, but of course, who now's found God? Of course he has. He's found evangelical Christian money, yes. And they'll say, oh, it's them, the bad people. But they'll never realistically talk about anything being different. Yeah, other than maybe deporting brown people who are responsible for the potholes? Or is that the trans people? I still get confused with that. Yes, you see, it's a glorious game. It's a glorious game, and you are treated like your little morons. Well, great. Great. Because, of course, you see, these people won't mind if you direct some form of anger about, as long as it's not against them. And this is why these people are so dangerous, because they will happily work with any form of quasi-fascist British state in the future. You know, if the right wing does get into power, there won't be any change. You'll still have potholes. They'll be a lot richer. You might not have as many brown neighbours as you had, but even that's probably not going to be done because they'll just tell you it's someone else's fault. Maybe we'll have firing squads for trans people. Maybe that'll work, eh? Maybe that'll work. Or just get people like me behind barbed wire. After all, somehow, it can't be their fault. Can't be. I mean, are you suggesting that Lord Frost has been incompetent about things like his negotiations? Can't be that. Can't be. Can it? Do have a lovely Saturday.